Here we start off with some pretty annoying missions. Well, this one isn't so bad. In fact, this one's actually pretty funny because I'm playing as Shadow. You know, like people like to joke about Ow the Edge. I kind of think that meme is sort of overused, but whatever. And yet here we've got New Venture playing in the background. It's literally the most cheery, happy-go-lucky song you could possibly play. And I guess Shadow was really angry at that because he crashed my entire computer because of it. It like nothing was even really going on the screen. I was standing on a slow-moving platform with a bottomless pit below me. That was it. I don't think it was this mission. I think it was the mission right before it with all the power sneakers. I don't know why they were called that when they're supposed to be called speed shoes. They always interrupted the theme that I chose. I don't think that unlockable songs should be interrupted by anything. There was this really funny moment in that previous mission where basically I fell to my death and that caused the Speed Shoes theme to stop playing, and every single time that the music gets interrupted, it actually restarts from the very beginning, which is really annoying. But I guess it's not really true because basically I fell to my death, the Speed Shoes stopped playing its theme, and the whole La La part of New Venture started playing while he was falling to his death. I really wish I could have shown that off, but my computer crashed and corrupted the footage, so I couldn't. This was a pretty easy mission. Like, we're at the point in the game where there gets being a lot more annoying missions, which makes sense because, you know, the difficulty increases the more you get through the game. Why are all the boring choices of music chosen for the Riders games? All it does is choose boring menu music. What were they thinking? I mean, at least they chose, like, the main theme at Sonic Free Riders, which was pretty good, especially with the animated intro, like, the CG intro of the game. Like, I was surprised how much I liked it when I saw it, like, going along with that. But, and they also have on Gratify, which is pretty awesome. I forgot to play an unlockable theme for this mission. Maybe I come back to it after a while. This mission would have been cool, but look, the snowboard disappeared. I hate how much the snowboard disappears arbitrarily. Who thought that was a good idea? Here I was thinking that I could make Scourge look cool by just snowboarding through the entire city. And then the snowboard decides to randomly disappear. Why is that platform so high up? Why can't I just land on it? The level design here is crap. Why are there so many springs sending me back and bouncing me between them? Like, it's nice how they have snowboards in item boxes, but even Sonic Triple Trouble handled it better than this. At least in that game, you didn't have this happening constantly. Like, you're supposed to use a whole bunch of ramp tricks by pressing A at the end of the ramp. But good luck doing that when the level design is so cramped and claustrophobic. This is the only fast part of the whole entire level. Who thought this was a good idea? Also, there's a whole bunch of buzzsaws for some reason, which can be pretty obnoxious. But yeah. I don't really know why they thought of this kind of level design. I mean, this is good, like the whole loop and a long stretch of land. Now this is properly taking advantage of having a snowboard in 2D section. Like, this is all good. Why couldn't they have just done this? But, oh, suddenly I snowboard into a buzzsaw that was so small that it doesn't really stand out well. How could I possibly know it was coming? Towards the end of 1999, AT&T teamed up with the official Dreamcast magazine to support a contest. The contest was a selection of 3 time attacks for SA1. It was named Sonic 2K Contest. It used DLC to create new minigames, distinguishing it from all the other time attack contests. The first challenge had signs appear over the entrance to Speed Highway, and they explained the objectives. You jump into the sign that says Start, end up in Speed Highway, doing that. AT&T DCM ads are everywhere, and there's AT&T platforms letting you take routes you couldn't before. The timing system is the same as the one used for the Japanese scavenger hunts. The object you're searching for this time is the goal, according to the programming. The challenge only lasts for Act 1 and then returns to Station Square for you to jump into a floating sign. The challenge actually restarts as you quit from the menu. The second challenge is for Knuckles. Touching signs in Station Square tells you to go to the Mystic Ruins where there's a start plate that becomes a goal plate when the 4 treasures have been dug up in the hub world. You have to read signs to find where exactly they are. So it's basically like a prototype of SA2's treasure hunting where you would read hints to find out where to go. So there's no to call or anything. Makes sense that they're making use of Knuckles' abilities, and it's pretty cool that they're doing it in the hub world instead. Some signs only tell you where the treasures aren't though. The first treasure is in front of the archaeologist's shack, the second is at the center of some signs nearby, and the third is in front of the Windstone pedestal, and fourth is in front of the entrance to the Chow Garden. Completing the challenge saves your time to the VMU. The last challenge is a short sandhill minigame for Tails, which ads in Station Square tell you though. But yeah, you enter Sand Hill and snowboard through 10 gates that are numbered, make it clear when you miss one of them. I can imagine this would be pretty annoying as while Sand Hill's level design isn't quite as atrocious as White Acropolis, it comes close. You'll need to manually restart the challenge to beat it in time if you fail. The contest was America exclusive. Europeans were given a different contest sponsored by a different company. I really like this mission, like taking advantage of the electric shield. I love how the electric shield actually looks like an electric shield, like it's made of electricity this time around. Sometimes the double jumps can be pretty precise. But in general, I like this. Huh, that's a pretty nice touch. I mean, Sonic is his rival after all. This is a pretty annoying mission. The real gimmick of this mission is the seesaws. They're basically like the seesaws of Advance 3, but unlike Advance 3, you don't accelerate at the speed of molasses, so you don't really have to worry too much about getting hit by them. It's not a huge deal going from one side to the other. It's a good thing that you're not actually expected to race Rouge, because she can fly, so that would be kind of unfair. The bombs are pretty easy to dodge, except for the very end, where she drops like 1 billion of them. It's impossible to avoid getting hit by them. I guess you're expected to reach the goal before she reaches it. But again, she's flying ahead of you, so that's not exactly realistic. Especially when you have level design like this that constantly stops you with blocks when you're trying to spin dash ahead. And like, I was wondering what they would make Rouge do, since apparently Sega can only remember that she could flirt. So apparently they remember that she can throw bombs, which she only did in 06. If they were going to do that, then they could have at least made her bombs look like the ones she threw in 06, instead of like boring red spears. Quite a few of the levels in SC2 have it so that it's impossible to get all of the rings in the level and guarantee an A rank because of it. This is due to many rings being out of bounds as a side effect of them occupying the first object slot 00. This includes Radical Highway, Mad Space, Pumpkin Hill, White Jungle with hundreds of missing rings because of rings from an earlier layout floating in the sky, as well as Green Hill, Sky Rail, and Hidden Base are also examples. Like, look at this! This is so cheap! Who thought this was a good idea? It's impossible to avoid. And you could say, oh, just equip the Thunder Shield, but you can't. You can't equip the Thunder Shield in a mission. By the way, I was kind of expecting Tails in the hub world to be changed to Anti-Tails as I was playing Scourge Generations, but I guess not. There's 2 more stages in 2-player SA2 that were planned but never used. The first of these can be found using cheats to scroll the stage list outside of its natural boundaries. It's Green Hill Zone, a fully functional stage with starting spot poses and everything. The second hidden stage has no functionality as a 2-player stage, only a 2-player mode object layout. The layout is seen by forcing the stage ID to the stage you want with cheats. Doing that puts you in Cityscape, complete with an unused 2-player mode layout. The second player is left without even having its own board. The stage doesn't have proper pose and finish locations for the players though, The layout is interesting in that it resembles the one used in SA2 The Trial, more than the layout used in the final game. City Escape would later be put in SA2 Battles multiplayer, but with different locations for the goal ring layout. In the Dreamcast version, only normal Chow in SA2 could be hatched, and you could get 8 extra Chow of different monotone colored varieties as DLC. But there's plenty of unused Chow breeds, most of which were Chow race opponents, usually from the Kid Troops race. They were replaced with Shiny Chow in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Sonic Adventure 2 had 3 kart race courses that would be downloaded onto a VMU. The High Speed Trial Fantasy Zone and Egg Robo with an exclamation mark were the examples. Sonic gets a new car for the first race that was added to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle with an alternate costume. The course is zero-shaped, with lots of high corners for you to go as fast as possible. It's easily the hardest race because the opponents move so fast that there's no room for error. Unless you're playing from the kart race menu, where they're a lot slower, you have to hope that Knuckles swerves enough that you can get past them. As for Fantasy Zone, its name is a reference to a game of that name. You drive a kart driven by Omochao in the shape after Opa Opa, that game's protagonist. The kart sucks at keeping speed. It's shaped like a pancake from behind. The course is easier than the others with light corners and lots of rings. The Egg Robo course features the robot as a playable kart flying over the course playing Eggman's theme instead of the main menu piece. This course is full of sharp corners, but it's a lot easier than High Speed Trial. Sonic Adventure 1 has a lot of the Dreamcast DLC, and part of its DLC for the Dreamcast was Y2K Millennium Rings, which celebrated New Year's Day with posters displaying messages in Station Square and Millennium Rings hidden in each action stage that have hidden messages celebrating the year 2000. A Happy New Year is 2K. Please support Sonic and 2K. It also had Christmas decorations, which were DLC as well. But yeah, I mentioned earlier that there were new DLC Chow that the Dreamcast version had. The Cockroach Chow also has a unique appearance with Dreamcast, but these can be obtained. You need to transfer a black colored Chow from SA1 to SA2. Due to a glitch, it looks the same as a normal Chow, but only until it reincarnates. Although you can breed it to get a Chow like that faster. Omochao, the walking egg, and animals are all technically classified as unattainable Chow, because you can race them in a certain race. Not all of the unused Chow were in the races though. The Moon Chow is grouped with them, but doesn't become unused until the ports due to the lack of a download system. A similar thing happens to the character in Jewel Chow in the PC ports, as they were added to be transferred through other services. There are multiple textures for the view of Sonic's world from space used by SA2, depending on which stage you're in. One looks very blue and one looks more dark blue, with brown land rather than very cloudy. However, they're all derived from the same image, a real-life photograph, NASA's Blue Marble from 1972. Many of these edited textures are even sideways compared to the original. A version of this image is even used on the title screen, albeit mirrored. SA2B has 3 test stages: Nux Test, Sonic Test, and the well-known Basic Test found in all ports. The test stages are very brightly colored with no textures. There's actually messages stating mission objectives to find and fix glitches. The Knuckles test has treasure hunting and spawns the 3rd Emerald Shard in an inaccessible location. Slot, name, mission name, and textures are all that exists for Sonic Test. The level sign at the end of this mission is pretty awkward because the diagonal spring didn't send me where I wanted them to at first, so I ended up like wandering around a bit. But other than that, it's pretty fun. Like, it's ironic how the song that I chose perfectly represented how I feel about springs. They're just letting you soar free through the air. I don't really get what the problem with them is. But after this, we're going to have a lot of different types of missions. Most of them doppelganger missions, which is actually why I'm going to talk about a very specific thing that doesn't have anything to do with trivia. For the next part, I'm going to be explaining my opinions on the Freedom Fighters, basically the comic and SatAM characters, as well as a few other things about like the comic arts and stuff. So see you then.